Hello, good morning, and welcome in. This is The Better Life with Dr. Pinkston. I am Dr. Pinkston, going to bring you another episode now with Ray Solano, who is my favorite compounding pharmacist. Don't tell the other compounding pharmacists that I work with. But definitely my favorite up in Cedar Park, Texas, kind of in the Austin area. And we've worked together a long time, Ray. We've done some great stuff. We're always keeping it exciting, new information. And I know the topic for us for a long period of time has been on weight loss, but it's a never-ending topic. It's always reinventing itself and redeveloping. So I love sitting down with you and bringing some of that updated information in. So tell me, how are you doing? First of all, everything good?
Well, we're doing great. This is we're in mid-February. And, we just finished the Super Bowl of sugar.
That's right.
The Super Bowl of sugar is finally over. Yes. And I had one of my staff members says, well, Ray, it's just still going to continue. Then we have Easter and then we have this. And I'm going, well yeah. But the important thing is it's 80% or 50% of all the sugar are consumed in 90 days.
Right.
So you now it's take a responsibility for your health and start and get healthy now. There's a huge movement in people that we are seeing from freedom of expression of medical information. Yeah. And it's probably better to be healthier than it is to be sick. We're seeing this, people are having second thoughts about alcohol use. They're having second thoughts about we're having a conversation about ultra-processed food. We're having a conversation about processed foods. This was blasphemy before because you couldn't talk about it because it would be countering for advertising revenue. It would be censored. So we're seeing all these things being spoken about. And a discussion. So I think nothing is changed. We've already known this for years, but it's now becoming more mainstream. So we want to make sure everybody understands they can take responsibility for their own health.
Absolutely.
Do something. And so we're happy to be working with you because you get it. You've been there, you've done it. And it's so important for people now to be smarter. Okay.
Right. And I found too that somebody told me the other day, because we talk about health from so many different directions now. Again, things that we've known and preached all along, but we talk about fragrances or some of our products that we use, anywhere from candles and dishwashing soap to topical lotions and things that we put on, all the way to, are we using the right plastic coffee pot? Can we microwave? People can get really overwhelmed with all of the things that are out there. So, nobody can preach perfection, but if you can choose kind of the top 5 things that you could do immediately to change your health and life, I think food and exercise, is at the very, very top of that. Weight and things like that fall into that. And then you can get into avoiding some of the products and whatnot. What would be the top 5 things that you would say people need to change?
Well, I think they have to stop their love affair with refined sugar.
Absolutely.
I think it's important. You take the steps and consider yourself a junkie. Okay. Yeah. And that means, or you consider everybody a sugaraholic or an alcoholic. You just can't keep it in your house. Yeah. So if you have it in your house, that willpower. So the first thing is realize that make it inconvenient to have junk food. Yes. Okay. So just don't buy it. Okay, it's expensive anyway, and just don't buy it. Just eliminate it. I had I went to some place once. I opened up somebody's cupboard and I saw all these these sodas and drinks, and I went, oh, I actually got a twinge because I hadn't seen those before. And that's the way you have to be, is you get kind of this weird feeling like, oh my God, it's like poison, but you can't even have it. Okay. Because I promise you that when the willpower gets down and you're tired, it's addictive. So I think the first thing to do is stop that.
Agreed.
And then the other thing is to be aware of ill health. Okay. Yeah. And that's the thing that people, they settle for poor health. Mm-hmm. So it's not okay to not sleep. It's not okay to be sneezing all the time. It's not okay to just gain a few pounds every week. You know, all these little things, you realize, well, I'm just tired. Well, I'm just this. You don't make excuses anymore. You know, there's no reason for it. Right. If you don't fit into your clothes, just say, I don't need to just buy bigger clothes.
Exactly. Exactly. It's exactly what happens.
Exactly what happens. And so, I'll just start tomorrow. You know, the excuse-itis, just get rid of the excuses.
Absolutely.
Because, and sometimes, how do you get people motivated, motivated to get started?
Right.
I look at it to the finance cost of it all. Mm-hmm. All these foods and these fast foods are expensive. Okay. Right. It costs twice as much many times for processed foods than foods that you make yourself. So look at it for the amount of money it's going to cost you.
Absolutely.
The second thing is the cost of getting sick can be devastating. Mm-hmm. Missed work. Okay. And when you're missing work, you're not going to be relied on for work.
You're gonna get by.
Okay. Right. Mm-hmm. You're sick all the time. You go, okay, well, somebody else that doesn't get sick is going to get that opportunity. Absolutely. The second thing is later on, these things creep up on you. Oh, I've had high blood pressure for 20 years. Okay, well, then all of a sudden, all that inflammation is going to cascade to shoulder issues and joint issues. Yep. And it just gets bad. And when unfortunately, more people are turning 65 now than ever before. So so people need to understand what you did in your 40s will catch up with you in your 60s. Amen. So how many times, just count, how many times a day do you hear the word retirement on a media clip, the radio, TV? I timed it once. I heard the word retirement 5 times in 1 hour once. Wow. And so what people are inundated with is saving for retirement. So give money to other people so you can starve and you don't have any money. We have to really to have some second thoughts about what in the world we're doing.
Absolutely.
So, and then there's one other thing that we're seeing a trend. You're having people questioning many of the weight loss medications. Okay, well, that's fine. We know that. We've always, when you have a weight loss intervention drug, you're going to have side effects. Mm-hmm. But the problem is that people, as always, these things become mail order. Yeah. They go on Amazon, fill out a questionnaire, and this telehealth revolution, you're showing up at your door for these very powerful pharmaceuticals that people are self-medicating with little information.
Absolutely.
This is why it's so important to connect with you, because to be able to have a medical professional to be able to chart your journey through this area to health, because you're disturbing your body has this amazing ability to fix itself.
It does.
it takes all these villains and all these items, and it also takes these villains and be able to puts it into fat tissues.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you put it in the fat tissues, then, it's really, you unleash it as soon as you leave it. So,
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry to talk so long. I know you got to take a break.
No, not yet. No, we're okay at the moment. And but you're making so many good points. This is from the food choices, getting rid of sugar, to looking at things like sleep and stress, and getting your adrenals under control, into picking good products that make sense for your body, that don't store like toxins in your in your liver and in your fat tissue and things like that. Then approaching a weight loss, method, and the major method is the lately has been the injections, of which I've worked with for years. I took one. They've been around for 20 years. I took one 20 or 15 years ago or so to try to start my weight loss journey, and I had diabetes at the same time. So this is nothing new to us. The only problem is we've developed a whole new source and brand. I call one of them, the semaglutide, the Cadillac version. I call the tirzepatide, the Ferrari version. So we're always developing new and better things. But like you pointed out, the commercialization of it, eventually it goes from a responsible practitioner into into and I don't mean to bash Amazon or anything, but into a telehealth, easy get it, hers and hims, to Amazon or whatever is available, kind of the quick and dirty. And then you listen to the internet, either the social media or the AI on the internet, to try to figure out what's going on, how to dose it. Oh, I'm not losing now, so do I just change dosage? What you're looking at, sources that are not certified, that don't know you and your body. They don't know that you can take this dose or can't take that dose, or maybe you shouldn't take it at all, right? So, we've commercialized all of those things, and that brings us, full circle into get a hold of a practitioner who knows what they're doing.
Yes,
I say practitioner or provider, because that could be physician. I approve of the most, and next is more providers and nurse practitioner, PA. Well, if they're well trained, that's a beautiful situation. Your compounding pharmacist, get to know your compounding pharmacist, because I tell you what, you've taught me more about this than any medical school. That's for sure.
Well, I appreciate it. It's a partnership.
It is.
It's and I work in our pharmacy. We're a prescription dispensing labs, PD labs. We do a great job of educating all of our professionals, a partnership in the community, and everybody looks at it a little bit differently. But we want people to have. We say the question is, who's your practitioner? And they go, well, we
used to see this guy a year ago.
No. It's too difficult. You can't do this by yourself. Mm-hmm. You need a coach. Okay, we don't think twice about getting a health coach. I mean, a career coach or a health coach, or a coach for whatever sport.
Right.
But to think you don't have a medical coach, it seems to be the craziest thought process ever. Because I guess maybe they're afraid, but maybe they don't see the results. So we're all about getting putting a team together, right. Because that's the way you get a long-term journey toward health. It's not going to get any easier as you get older. So that's why we say start now, and when you have children as well, and adolescents and youngsters, we got to start there as well. So it's kind of a culture. Mm-hmm. When you walk into many cultures, Eastern cultures, cleanliness is improved. It's a habit of just simple things. Sometimes they'll as certain cultures, you can't bring shoes into a home because of just the way it's always been. They leave, take their shoes off. So you have to have your household have a culture that junk food and unhealthy practices just don't exist.
Right.
And then all of a sudden it becomes a habit.
Right.
And it takes about 20 days to become a habit. And after a while, so that's what we start with.
Now, what you're saying is science-based. They have proven that I think the magic number is like 21 days.
21 days.
There is a study that absolutely shows that. And it is a habit. So when people look at their addiction to carbohydrates and sugars and salty, crunchy things, those are all carbohydrates as well. It is an addiction. It is a biological hormonal addiction in the brain. And you have to fight it like you would alcohol or gambling or smoking or any of those types of things. And so facing that first, eliminating it is the most important thing. You can't have your temptations around if you stay away from it for long enough. And that's about 3 weeks, stay away from it. Your body stops craving. You can actually get rid of it. So you don't have to use a shot to get rid of the craving. It may help you jumpstart something and help you make some changes in the beginning, but ultimately just staying away from it long enough, your tastes change, your brain craving changes. You can then begin a good solid program where you introduce new foods and new exercise and things like that very slowly. And the instant gratification mindset needs to go. That is, the biggest thing about, when you say people don't value getting a medical coach or health coach, they'll hire somebody for sports. They'll hire somebody, like, as you say, for other factors to get coached, but they get a lot of instant gratification from that. And medical wise, there is nothing that happens overnight. You can change the color of your hair, you can cut it, but you cannot change the health of your hair.
I know.
Starts from the inside out, and it's something that you start way back. And if you're 65 now, it's still not too late. You're 75 now, it's still not too late. But start that back as early as you can. We will take just a brief little break. I want to make sure people know where to find you and more information and some of our previous shows as well.
Well, check out our website, pdlabsrx.com, pdlabsrx.com. And our phone number is 512-219-0724. And you just check out our website. We've got a lot of free educational information under our resources page. We actually can refer you out to our clinic, Laval Performance Health Center, and their team of practitioners, or as you being a medical director, to be able to integrate that healthcare all into one. And so that's what we want, a one-stop shopping that really makes a huge improvement in people's health.
Absolutely. And you guys do a great job. And so you can also find their information on my website. Olive Ray and I have once a month previous shows. You can find all of those too. So go to drpbetterlife.com and find Ray and PD Labs as well. So we'll take a short break and come back on the other side.
Hi, this is Ray Solano with your Healthy Choices Minute, sponsored by Prescription Dispensing Labs. New research has concluded that implementing dietary changes could prevent gut inflammatory processes involved in some chronic diseases. Modulation of your gut microbes through diets enriched with vegetables, legumes, grains, nuts, and a higher intake of plant over animal foods has a potential to prevent intestinal inflammatory conditions at the core of many chronic diseases. In short, the foods we eat in our dietary patterns have a major influence on our immune system that can cause many conditions we are suffering from today. Solution: try our OptiMeal shake. Our team has developed the best tasting, healthiest shake you've ever experienced to control blood sugar and to improve your gut. Start your day today with a healthy choice. Call us today at 888-909-0110 for a free sample of the OptiMeal shake. 888-909-0110. Remember, you have a choice in healthcare.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Dr. Marianne Pinkston, and here with Ray Solano, and we are discussing from PD Labs. I want to make sure you know where Ray comes from. It's a fantastic compounding pharmacy. And of course, he's got new news. He always surprises me with new and wonderful things every time we talk. And you've got a new delivery system for low-dose naltrexone. Now, there are many people who don't really know what LDN is or low-dose naltrexone. Give us a brief overview.
At low dose, naltrexone's been an FDA-approved drug for many years, over 50 years, at high doses. That it was an opioid blocker for opioid overdoses, or for when people Narcan, you probably that drug. But naltrexone is for people that have overdosed on opioids. It blocks those that receptor. So that's at a lot higher dose. However, they found out that many chronic conditions have an opioid receptors that are blocked and they need to be reset. And they found out that this drug in low doses and a couple of milligrams have a completely opposite effect in being a therapeutic property to reset those receptors to stop the domino effect downstream for immune dysfunction, for pain responses. So it can be therapeutically used for chronic pain, chronic fatigue, many types of inflammatory conditions. So low dose naltrexone has really revolutionized an area of medicine for these chronic conditions. And originally is definitely as popular in all different age groups. So we're finding the uses of this very inexpensive drug is going to be more and more mainstream. It's very popular in the Lyme community, mold community, even the autism community as well. However, with drugs, we always have a little side effects, nausea, feeling disassociated, having difficulties with sleep. So you have to get to the proper dosing. So what we have found is we partnered with Hack Technologies, a pharmaceutical company, to be able to take drugs that are sometimes insoluble or difficult to get absorbed, and be able to manipulate them, put them in a special type of molecule, nanotized particle, and envelope it in a phospholipid base, so it tricks the cells to get absorbed much faster with a lower dose. So always less is better. We're always looking at how to get the least amount of pharmaceutical, or that actually the body can absorb. Too much is sometimes not good. So low dose naltrexone has some side effects, but we found out in this, we call it the lipid particle technology, adding it together, LDN LPTs can be chewable and absorb lymphatically through the buccal cavities and gums, and it's an open communication to the rest of the body's network. It gets absorbed that way, or it can be swallowed. It gets quick absorption at a low dose. So this technology we're applying to other drugs as well. So low dose naltrexone can be given very simply to people and in a lower dose, and so they have the therapeutic effects positive without the side effects. We're using it for many conditions, and we see it very common and sometimes in cancer therapy. We use it indefinitely for people that are having thyroid dysfunction, any types of inflammatory conditions. There's so many of them. Psychiatry for depression, for brain inflammation. Just so many different choices. And the good thing is it's inexpensive. Okay, so let me get this straight. You can have an inexpensive drug, and it has so many positive effects, and you can have different dosage forms that makes it personalized for you. It's almost like, okay, this is almost too good to be true. And it's not, and it's already an FDA approved drug, so it's not something new. So we know all the safety factors of it. So great. So that's what we'd like to be able to do, is take these older drugs that have been around for a long time for safety and be able to use that as a cornerstone for many of these different processes. We've done it. Now we're even doing it for methylene blue. Methylene blue is out there everywhere. However, you get the really true, for some of these people that have some of these illnesses, to really get those therapeutic effects, you have to get sometimes higher doses. Mm-hmm. So we figured out how to do a oral, just swallowable in a tablet form that makes a huge absorption without the negative side effects. So we've got a whole suite of nutraceuticals as well, BPC 157 or the Synapsin, which is the RG3 in this form. So we have all these different types of very effective foundational products that patients can do and chew or swallow. That, guess what? They don't need as many intense pharmaceuticals.
Absolutely.
Or lower dose. So we're really excited about rolling this out, and check out our web. Many of these are prescription. Some of them are not prescription. Right. But I think this is going to make a big difference in people's health.
That's wonderful and revolutionary, which is what we expect from you guys.
Revolutionary. Just
well, good.
Just tinker and do something different.
LDN is we need to spend some time on that too. I think we'll go further with it at some point, because that's one that on the weight loss scene or whatnot, everybody's kind of forgotten, but it's a part of a weight
loss. It's in a couple of pharmaceuticals for weight loss. Improves people's sleep with the right dosage.
Right.
It can be used for eczema, to get rid of eczema topically as well. So all these chronic conditions that we're seeing that are expensive pharmaceuticals, we look for, how about some basic things? How about fixing the gut, which causes skin conditions? So I think we're really entering a renaissance in medicine, to be able to have a freedom to discuss different choices as opposed to just one size fits all.
Absolutely. And that's where we started with the podcast. I think it's a great place to end it. But I tell you what, now we have been doing all of this, Ray, you and I and Jim Laval and everybody have been doing this a very, very long time, preaching it a very long time. We have been ridiculed for it off and on through the years and
many years,
right?
We've been ostracized by our family, friends, neighbors.
Absolutely. But guess what? Now it's popular.
It's popular. Now it's me. It's just like every day, everything we've been talking about for years. It's like, wow. Yeah. And you want to say I told you so, but I guess not. We won't say that.
We'll be nice. What
we do now is just kind of look up in the air and go,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can go look at my podcast from 5 years ago. I think I talked about that already.
Yeah. That's right. We have all those radio shows are all on the record.
Absolutely. Well, so one more time, Ray, where can everybody find you?
Check out our website, pdlabsrx.com, pdlabsrx.com, and check out our clinic, lavalperformance.com, and our online store has all of these, many of these products that don't require a prescription. We can mail it to you. These things really are just changing people's lives.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you have over and over. Thank you for that. So,
all right.
You can find all of our shows again in the past at drpbetterlife.com, among other things. So please go check it out. And Ray, thank you. Stay warm out there. And we'll
all right, you too.
All right.
Take care.